Hello, my fellow trucketeers, and good morning. Good Sunday morning. Sunday the 16th of March. Now, I'm filming this on Friday, because I'm at home on Friday. But as you're watching this, I will be 40 years old, yes. The day you're watching this video is my birthday, 16th of March. And I am officially old, 40 years old, yeah. So I'll probably be struggling to get out of bed and struggling to put my socks on and all that stuff, and have to have my food pureed for me and all that stuff. So yeah, that's that bit done. So yeah, feel like an old man now. No, I'm not that old. It's fine. You only feel as old as a woman you're touching. So this week's debrief video. Only done 4 weekdays this week because, well, I wanted a short week. So next week's video is also going to be a 4-day week because I'm having the Friday and the Monday off for a long weekend. Because why not? So let's get into the debrief. So we started Monday at 6 AM. We run from the yard to the workshop to collect the trailer. Then we run that to Ferndown. Sorry, I couldn't read me writing there. It's a bit scribbly there. Run that to Ferndown to collect 11 bulk bags of soil, which was then taken to a Lidl site in Payton. So there's a new Lidl being built on Payton as you go down the hill before you get to the junction where we turn left to get to the zoo. So yeah, there's a set of traffic lights and you see building works on your right hand side as you're going down the hill. So yep, went in there, dropped the 11 bags of soil off. That was nice and easy. Once unloaded, went from there to Kingsbridge, or just south of Kingsbridge, and from there loaded 8 ton of beans out of a farm, and then I run them all the way back to the yard, dropped the trailer, and proceeded to help the boss move some sheep because he's lambing right now. And yeah, that was my Monday. That was pretty easy. Worked for 12 hours and 15 minutes. Drove 6 hours and 32 minutes. And we've done a total of 247 miles. So Monday was quite a short day. Quite a nice day. Tuesday. Started at 6 AM. Started in the yard. Run to John Dorsey's up sort of whatever the next junction is up from Columpton. I can't remember what it is now. From there, collected one of our trailers that was loaded with seed potatoes. And this is quite a busy day, this one. Run that down to Tor Point to unload 8 bags. Then from there, I run to Victoria, to where R&R's storage yard is there. I dropped the trailer in there, collected one of our other trailers that was in there, run that up to Main Carns, loaded a load of blocks, and then, sorry, I got these, got dust to be those. So once we loaded up with the blocks, we then run that trailer back to Victoria, to the storage yard, swap back to the trailer with the spuds on it, and then run a load down to Perrimore Station to one of the farms there, dropped off another 8 bag of spuds, and then from there we then run to Helston, and then we unloaded the last 6 bag of spuds. We got there at like 5 PM, so pretty much just in time. And we got the last 6 bags off, and then from there back to Victoria to drop that empty trailer, hitch back up to the other trailer that I loaded with blocks earlier, because I had to do that earlier, because if I didn't, I would have been too late, because they don't load blocks after 3 o'clock. So the strategy worked, but it did mean a lot of trailer swapping. So we loaded back up with the blocks, and then I run east. We got as far as Ottery St Mary on the A30, where we parked up for the night at 8:30 PM. So we did 346 miles. We drove a total of 8 hours and 41 minutes, and we worked 14.5 hours that day. So quite a busy day. So move on to Wednesday. We started at 5:45 AM. We run from the A30 outside Ottery St Mary all the way to Cranbrook, not the Cranbrook in Devon near Exeter, the Cranbrook in Kent, which is south of Maidstone. Yes. Once unloaded there, it was to a Travis Perkins site, I think, there, wasn't it? Yeah. Load of something, blocks that I collected. So once I got them blocks off, we then run to Tilbury Docks and loaded with can't remember anymore. It was 12 packs of plywood I loaded. Yeah, 12 packs of plywood. And then from there we run to Purfleet to collect another 3 packs of plywood, and I got there just in time to be loaded. And then from there we pretty much headed west as far as we could. Got as far as Andover for the night. I could have pushed on for another 40 minutes, but I didn't really see the point. Stopped in Andover at 7:15 PM. We worked a total of 13.5 hours. Drove for 8 hours 45 minutes, and we drove a total of 364 miles. Then we move on to yesterday, which was Thursday. which for you was not yesterday. Thursday was a few days ago. The Thursday we started at 4:15 a.m. Started in Andover. We run all the way to Ipplepen. You know, Pen Pineapple, Ipplepen. In Devon to unload 12 packs of plywood. They're quite a bit. Then from there we went to Torquay to unload the other 3 packs of plywood, and then we was empty there. From there, then we headed all the way to West Bay near the yard. I say near the yard, it's sort of south of Bridport, east of Chiddock, yeah, so sort of over and down a bit. So we loaded a full load of MDF there. That took a little bit longer than expected. They had 16 packs ready, and I had to wait for another 4 packs to be made up, and yeah, it took a bit longer than expected. Anyway, once that was done, took that truck and trailer back to the yard, dropped the trailer. I then jumped out of my truck and jumped into S555 and then run that all the way out to Taunton to meet Ollie. Now, obviously, I went solo because his truck had transmission faults. It kept like sticking in gear and then not changing down gear, and then he had to turn the engine off and turn it back on to then get moving again. It was a bit of a pain. So I took S555 up to him so he could carry on his weekend with that, or his week with that. And then I brought his truck, nursed his truck back to the yard. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it did like stick in gear a couple of times, which was a bit of a pain. He also had issues with it jumping into neutral and then not changing the gear, but I didn't have that problem. So I took that truck all the way back to the yard, jumped back into my truck, took all my stuff out of it, packed up, and come home for the weekend, for a 4-day weekend. So that was yesterday done, which was Thursday. So we stopped at 6:45 p.m. So we worked a total of 14.5 hours yesterday, drove for 7 hours and 5 minutes, and we done a total of 260 miles. Yeah. And that was our week, 4 days. So in those 4 days, I did 54 hours and 45 minutes work. So still quite a few hours. I haven't actually worked my miles out, so bear with me a minute. Right, so in them 4 days, I done a total of 1,270 miles, and I put in a total of 816 litres of fuel. Or 816.19 if you want to be precise. So yeah, not too bad little week. So 4 days. 4 days next week as well, which would be nice. Yeah, that was that one. That was quite fun. Not a bad week. And obviously in my new truck, which was nice. Yeah, all good. So we'll now move on to viewers' questions. If you would like to have your question answered next week, then leave a question in the description below. Leave a comment, leave a question, and I will answer it for you next week. It's effectively your way of getting a shout out on my channel. So ask anything you want. It doesn't have to be trucking related. So I see everyone kind of sticks to that. So we'll go with the first one. So the first question is by Dirk VD, and he asks, British trucks often have 3 axles, whereas on the European mainland they usually only have 2. Can someone explain this to me and why? Well, to be able to carry 44 tons in England, you need to have 3 axles to spread the weight. That's simply it. In Europe, I don't think that's such a thing, or in Europe, maybe you only carry 40 tons, I don't know. With only 2 axles in the UK, you're only allowed to carry 40 tons. With 3 axles, you can carry 44. That's the long and short of it, pretty much. So there you go. Hope that answers that for you. Guy called Ryan, he said, have you heard anything about going over that weak bridge? No. As far as I'm aware, it's been well over 14 days, so I can't be done on it now. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but yeah, not heard a dicky bird about it, so I think we've been quite fortunate there, I think. Unfortunate to some, fortunate to others, depends how you look at it, really. Right, so we're going to question number 3, which is by Ray Hitchman, and he asks, with your beacons fuse blowing, beginning of the week, I take it you don't carry spare fuses or bulbs with you. No, some companies don't allow drivers to carry or change such things. Yeah, I do have spare fuses. I do have spare bulbs. We're very much a make do and mend sort of company. So, you know, if you can fix it, crack on, get it fixed, get on the road, get moving. Changing a bulb's not exactly difficult, is it? As for the fuse that the beacons are on, it wasn't on the actual fuse I thought it was. The beacons on that truck are actually wired up to the lane departure warning. So when my lane departure warning stopped working that day, it's also because the beacons went. So, yeah, I don't know why they wired up to that. It was probably from whoever had the truck before, whoever wired it up before, but it is what it is, so I just didn't know what fuse it was. But I did have spare fuses, and I did have the correct fuse, because I think it was a 5 amp fuse or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We do carry bulbs and fuses. I do actually need to get some more bulbs in my truck, actually, because I've run short. Yeah. Usually the trailer bulbs go, not the ones in the truck. That's what we find. So yeah, we do carry that sort of stuff. Yeah. We actually have 6 questions this week, so we're going to crack on. We've got a couple of short ones. So number 4 is from Alan Junction 22M5. Why is truck mileage recorded in kilometers rather than miles? Simply for the fact that tachograph covers all of Europe. So the tachograph rules covers the whole of Europe. So it just keeps it as a standard rather than having a different mileage for us and a different mileage for the rest of Europe. It just keeps it all as a standard to make it easier. That's pretty much it. So yeah, because I think we're probably one of the only countries that uses miles in Europe. Everyone else uses kilometers. So we're a bit of a bizarre country, aren't we? Using imperial and metric everywhere. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It just keeps it as a standard across the board. Question number 5 from John Maloney. Scariest or closest call you have had in the truck? Or worst experience you ever had with the DVSA? Well, I haven't had any run-ins with the DVSA because I don't have any experiences of that. As far as I'm aware, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, and you'll be somewhat okay. The nicer you are to them, the nicer it'll be to you, I reckon. As for scariest or closest call you've had in the truck, probably when I went to overtake a truck on the M5. As I pulled out, a car moved over from lane 3 to lane 2. Obviously, I didn't see him because he was further ahead, and as he done that, the car in front of him slowed down, so he slowed down, and then my truck hit the automatic brake thing, the anti-collision thing, and slammed the brake. It didn't need to. I was in control of it, and I would have slowed down in plenty of time, but it absolutely jammed the ankles on, and my load shifted forwards, broke all the straps. I had edge protection on the straps and that, but it just moved, slid out from underneath the edge protection, cut the straps, they fell off. Luckily, all the load stayed on the trailer, but then I had to move over the hard shoulder and restrap it all. That was an absolute nightmare. That's probably the closest I've come to like dropping something, I suppose. But luckily, everything stayed on other than a ratchet or two. Yeah, it's just one of them things. If it weren't for that anti-collision thing, would have been absolutely fine. But this is where these safety things, I think, are probably more of a hindrance than anything. Because I wouldn't have slammed my brakes on that hard. Because the cars eventually did get back up to speed and go, and I was judging for that in my eyes, and no, the truck was like, no, brakes full on right now. So yeah, absolute nightmare. And we'll get to the very last question number 6, which is by Tom Winter. And he asks, what would your dream car be? Wow, what a question. Being the car enthusiast I am, there are so many different types of cars I'd have. My S4 was a pretty good one I liked. Obviously the step up from that would be I had the B6 S4, so the next variant up from that's the B7, and they done that in an RS4, and I would love to have one of them in Nogaro Blue. In fact, I saw one the other day, and it very nearly took car of the week this week, so yeah, it could be one of them. But then if you go onto hypercars, you know, where do you draw the line at what's your favourite car? Do you draw it like sports cars, hypercars, saloons? What? If I was going to go for a hypercar, it'd probably be a Koenigsegg. I love the Koenigsegg's. They're a bit nuts. We go for Ferraris? Nah, I'm not a big fan of Ferraris, really. There's only 2 Ferraris I like, a 355 and an F40. Those 2 are a bit special, but nah, not really a fan. Porsche, I like Porsches. I'm very much a Porsche man. My favourite Porsches are a 993 GT2 and a 997 GT3. They're probably my 2 favourite Porsches, but even them I wouldn't really class as my dream car. Because I've classed my dream car as something that's obtainable, whereas they're not. They're far too expensive for me. I don't know, maybe one day, you never know. I highly doubt it. But out of everything, the one car that always is my unicorn. It's always just slightly out of my grasp. When I was younger, they got down to about £10,000, but now the market's just shot and they're over 50 grand now. Is a Mark IV Toyota Supra. Absolutely love them. I would love to have a Mark IV Toyota Supra. I'd love my ideal Toyota Supra would be a single turbo converted, what the twin turbo manual would be effectively, but with a single turbo conversion with a more modern turbo. About 500 horsepower. That would be the best car ever. That would be my my favourite dream car, I reckon. Mark IV Toyota Supra. Very lightly modified. Well, somewhat lightly modified, I suppose. Depends how you look at it. But yeah, that's what I would see as an obtainable dream car. Never know, one day. Gotta get more of you watching my videos first before I can afford one of them. Right, so that question obviously segues into my next section, which is Car of the Week. Like I said, it could have been that Nogaro Blue Audi RS4 I saw yesterday that purred past me up Telegraph Hill. Oh, thing. I would love to have one of them. I mean, they're £20,000+ now. They're going up. But I've seen 2 of these this week. My dream car. Not dream car, Car of the Week. Honda Integra DC5. Fantastic little cars. They are like the ultimate little track dream, they are. Honda Integra DC5. You don't see many of them these days. One friend I used to hang around with back in the car, well, when we used to muck around with cars and that, he had a DC2 and his brother had a DC5 in the blue. And, okay, they weren't the fastest things in the world. I mean, they were pretty quick. They were light and about 200 horsepower, but round a track, you just couldn't keep with them. They just stick to the road like anything. So, yeah. Fantastic little car. Car of the Week, Honda Integra DC5. Lovely little things. VTEC Bro. All that stuff. Yeah. And that's that bit. So, I suppose we'll move on to Mayhem of the Week. Nothing really, technically. Sort of. Okay, maybe I cut someone up. So, I'll explain this. As I was doing the stuff on Tuesday, moving all the trailers around and that, obviously I'd head down towards Truro. And I was just in my own little world, chugging along, la 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 la, catching up with this rigid. I thought, I'll move over, overtake him. Sat-nav flashing up saying keep right. I thought, okay, that's fine, keep right. No. Now, this is where they've obviously built the new bit of roundabout for that new section between Camborne and whatever it is. Anyway, I've gone to keep right, so I've started overtaking him. I've near enough passed him, and I'm like, hold on a minute, my sat-nav's having a meltdown at the moment, because that bit of road, it doesn't like at the moment. And I'm like, no, I need to get off here. So I've managed to creep in front of him and just moved over and then just come off the slip road. I was like, that was a bit of a dick move, but I wasn't like massively close or anything, but he was probably a little bit annoyed. So if he does watch this, which I very much doubt, I do apologise, sir. I did flash me indicators at him to sort of say, sorry. Probably thought, what the hell was going on? But I was just, wasn't really. I was paying attention, but I was just like, the Tom sort of said keep right, and I was like, that's not right. And I was like, no, I need to come off. So yeah, I caused the mayhem. Nothing major. So he didn't people flash at me or anything. And to be fair, it was a nice long slip road, so it's not like I had to pull in front of him and hit the brakes. So yeah, but it is what it is. Yeah, maybe I should have just carried on to the next one and spun round, but there we go. Like I said, I wasn't like massively close to him, just maybe a little bit closer than I should have been. And then we'll go on to our last little segment now. So, comment of the week. So, I actually had a comment. It's on my phone here. Somewhere. There it is. Right there. And it's from a Mr. Matt Burton. And his comment is, glad you like the new motor. Was the previous owner with this? Where's the duck gone? It looks so nuts. So, Matt Burton actually used to drive my new truck before, obviously, it was my truck. So, yeah. Obviously, I think he had some input on the stuff that was on it when he had it at MRB. I think it was MRB Transport, wasn't it? That's who had it. So yeah, he was the driver that drove it before me, and it had on the front of the bull bar, it had this like duck sort of going like that, which was pretty cool. So I don't know where that's went. I think they took it off in the workshop and probably a mantelpiece in there somewhere, a decorative piece in the workshop. I don't know where that's gone, but yeah, thanks for messaging, buddy. It's nice to see people that obviously drove the trucks before, and it's nice to see you've actually watched my video of the new truck. So I assume someone saw it and showed it to you. I thought, this is your truck, wasn't it? So yeah, no, it's a very nice truck, and I'm very, very happy with it, and I will continue to look after it. Yeah, that was my debrief. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy my birthday. Check out tomorrow's video, which is Monday. For you, anyway. Not for me. Tomorrow's Saturday for me, but tomorrow's Monday for you. So, I can't remember what video it is. It's a good one. Because I wouldn't tell you otherwise, would I? Because, yeah. I want you to watch it. So, let's have a quick look-ski. No, that's the one that was viewed this week. Ah, yes, it's a crane dropper done and some straw and stuff. So yeah, check out. People like it when I do the straw job. So check that video out tomorrow, 6 p.m. All right, see you next week's debrief. Take it easy, look after yourself, drive safely. Thanks for trucking around, Jono, and I'll see you soon. Goodbyes. I'm 40.